I'm Jackie and this is Nail Polish and Power Tools. Today we're going to make a silicone mold like this for casting epoxy resin.
The first thing I'm going to do is use my bandsaw to cut out the pattern for our mold. I'm leaving a little bit of extra room to account for any trimming that I'll need to do to the epoxy once it's casted. I'm also going to keep this board pretty thick because I'd rather have my mold be too deep than too shallow. Now I'm going to use my sander to round out and shape my pattern, and also to smooth out the surface of the wood. It's crazy how this mold picks up every little detail, including the texture of the wood grain. That's my friend Misha. She's helping me out.
There you go.
Now we're going to coat our wood with urethane to seal it so it doesn't absorb any of the silicone when we make our mold. Now that it's all coated, I'm going to set it aside and let it dry. While the wood is drying, we're going to go ahead and build the form for our mold using corrugated plastic.
Yeah. Not bad, right? Good job.
Misha is cutting strips to make the walls of our form. When you do this part, make sure to pay attention to the direction of the tubes.
Nice.
You want your tubes to run perpendicular to the length of your strip. That way you can bend them more easily into the shape that you want. I'm tracing out the path where I want my corrugated plastic walls to be. About an inch away from the pattern ended up being a good thickness for my silicone mold. Now we're going to attach our walls using a hot glue gun. I highly recommend having a friend help with this part because you kind of need both of your hands to bend the corrugated plastic and hold it in place. It's really important that you stabilize each section until the glue dries, and then you can move on to the next section. You can be super generous with the glue just to make sure that your form is strong and that it's completely sealed. Now that our form and our pattern are finished, it's time to pour our silicone. The product I'm using is a 2-part silicone called OOMOO 30. It's kind of a weird name and it's pretty expensive, but it does work really well. Part A kind of reminds me of Pepto-Bismol. When you pour it, you'll notice that it's super thick and viscous, so it takes a while for all of it to pour out. Once you've poured all of your Part A, then go ahead and pour your Part B. It's kind of nice that Part A and Part B are 2 different colors, so you can tell when it's all mixed together. Don't forget to get the silicone at the bottom. I made that mistake the first time and ended up with patches of blue and pink, which caused my mold not to cure properly. When all of your mixture is this nice consistent periwinkle, then you should be good to go. One more thing before you pour your mold. Make sure your form is level. This here is the mold release that I used. I purchased this and some of the other materials from Amazon. I'll provide links in the description. And now we pour. You'll probably need to use your stir stick to scrape off all of the silicone from the sides of the bucket. Once you've poured out all of your mixture, just leave it be for 24 hours. Alright, now that our silicone is dry, it's time to pop our mold out of the form. And you guys, this part is harder than it looks. I honestly wasn't ready for how difficult this would be. Finally, after about 10 minutes of struggling and a few bad words, I got the mold out. I carefully pulled the walls of the mold away from the wood pattern. Dude, it came out so good. I'm super pumped on our end result. Now it's time to put it to the test. I'll just place my pieces of maple in the mold right here. Then I'll use some silicone blocks to clamp my pieces down so they don't float. Now for the pour. The brand I used is called Super Clear Epoxy Liquid Glass, and I used Black Diamond Pigments Gold Mica Powder. The blowtorch helps pop all of the bubbles, and then we wait 72 hours for it to cure. Alright, 3 days later, moment of truth.
So I'm just gonna pop it out, and here, what you'll do.
Oh, that's Soren, by the way.
Will you hold this up like this? Oh yeah.
Nailed it.
There you have it.
That's how you make a silicone mold for casting epoxy. Thank you for watching this nail polish and power tools video. If you would like to see more woodworking and epoxy work, you can follow me at Nail Polish and Power Tools.